Hello, I'm Chuck Phillip, and welcome to Southern Stories. I'm going to do an episode on splinter removal of all things. I've had many of them over the years. I'm sure some of y'all have as well, especially if you work around wood. And so I hope this compilation of things I've tried helps you out. And also go ahead and hit the like button, notification bell if you want to be informed of the next video, and certainly subscribe to this channel because this is a family channel here. It's more than just me. It's about all of us together sharing information. And so please share your comments down below in the comments section. And I hope this episode helps you get your splinter out if it's not too darn deep. And this is my little surgical setup. And what I'm going to have to do here is I got both my clippers, because where this is, there I have to remove some hair off my skin. This is where the splinter is, right there. So I'm going to take and shave some of this off. Then I'm going to put my loop on, and I may use a sort of smaller clipper to see if I've missed anything. Here it's good enough. Now we'll use their alcohol pad that came with it. Clean this area real good. Also helps reveal the location of the splinter a little bit better too. But I've got that done. I'm going to take their little surgical thing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this in my alcohol here to make sure this is sterile even though it was packaged. I'm going to start picking at this thing a little bit. And what they tell you to do is to cut as much skin around it possibly can. This thing is pretty sharp. Okay, one thing I'm going to do now is use this Q-tip here, which has been soaking in hydrogen peroxide. Sometimes this will get this to boil up and it'll help exfoliate the splinter, actually help lift it out. And plus you can use the end of the Q-tip to kind of push it out too. Sometimes you get lucky and it'll come out with the Q-tip. So let that, the thing, you can probably see that foam up a little bit. Okay, back to our razor blade. This splinter happens to be in a fairly decent position where you can see it, being on the top of my hand. Yeah, I got a little blood going right there. And I will use the back side of this Q-tip to kind of dry that out. That's why it's good to have a couple of Q-tips on hand. Look, I'm making some progress. What's in here is a splinter of treated wood from working on the deck out there, and it's old treated wood too. And there's part of it right there on the Q-tip, a little black part right there. See if I can lift it up off of this here, so I can put it up against this white Q-tip, make it easier to see. I'm not sure if that's all of it though. I think I still see some more in there. In this bit, I think I see some, just part of it broke off. The rest of it's still kind of deep in there. So a little more hydrogen peroxide. Okay, now that I've got it cut, it's starting to boil up even more. Now, say another way you can get splinters out of your hand or anywhere else is to make a paste out of equal parts of sugar and soap. Take a bar of soap and shave a little bit off of it, and then make a little paste of equal proportions of sugar and soap. Put it over this and band-aid over it. And they say, depending on how deep it is, it may take a few days for it to come up, but eventually that will lift it. Sometimes I think I'd rather do this myself than have someone else do it, because you can feel your pain threshold. And there it is. I have removed it. That is it right there. It's probably hard to see with all the blood in the way. And I didn't really need the tweezers, but I am going to use it to remove the splinter off the Q-tip. And that is that bad boy right there. It's pretty long. It's in there fairly deep. Okay, now that I've got that out, I'm going to make sure that there's not any more of that left in there. This hydrogen peroxide really works well. And I have got all of it out, which is wonderful. So now I'm just going to clean this up a little bit and put an antibiotic over it. Ointment. This also helps stop some of the bleeding. Right there. And I don't need a huge band-aid, so this one here will probably work pretty good. This excess blood off there. But what you do, They have these little tabs here. It looks like they would lift off from underneath, but they don't. Put it on like that. This here. And they lift off from the top. Like that. Okay, well, I am cured of that splinter. It's a heck of a lot better than what I've used to do in the past, which is use a safety pin or a needle. But there you go. That's how I remove a splinter. And there's all kinds of other ways to do it, I'm sure. I've seen some of the other ways, but this way here seems to be what's worked best for me. And the biggest thing is you just want to have everything laid out what you need and have plenty of lighting. That seems to be the biggest thing with me, is having enough light where I can see, and make sure you keep everything sterile. And I think it's good to keep a kit like this where everything's together in that kit, so you're not digging through this cabinet for that and that cabinet for this. So hope you can get your splinter out.